Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and today we're going to have a quick tour of a 2025 Toyota GR86. So here we are at the front of the unit. This is the new 2025 Special Edition GR Corolla. 30 of these available in Canada officially. This is one of 3 that has come to Atlantic Canada, and obviously it's already pre-sold. This is a special green that is only available in this Signia edition for 2025. It is called Ridge Green. First time we've seen this color on any Toyota product in any model year that I'm aware of. Projector headlights with LED obviously on the front side. You come around, it's got a little redesigned grille from the previous year. The GR badging here, just to let you know that it is a GR Corolla, which is more fun badging on their vehicles essentially. If it's a GR anything from Toyota this year or in the past couple of years, it denotes that we've basically upped our performance game and we've put some fun back in our Toyotas. So across the front, green stands out really nice. Because this is a dual project with our friends at Subaru, where you traditionally would have some of your sensors in the front in our Toyota packaging, you end up with different cameras here on the front, which is more in keeping with Subaru's eyesight technology as far as frontal collision avoidance. Just a safety package, I guess, is the best way I'd put that. So let's come around to the side and see what the difference is on this vehicle versus the previous year. So here we are at the rear of the 2025 86. So obviously come across this side, the biggest visual cue that this is a special edition vehicle is Toyota has applied a very different wheel and brake system on this vehicle compared to last year's model. That is a large Brembo brake 4-piston system, which gives you excellent braking power. The rotors are bigger, the brakes are bigger, simply because this is meant to be a fun car to drive, and the faster you go, the more braking power you need. This particular package comes with a special edition bronze wheel. It is an 18-inch bronze wheel. Just a different visual cue that this is a special edition package. Come along the body side, everything is matched here, so you got a color matched door handle. The skirting, obviously the key's in the car, and it just warned me that I tried to open it, so that's working. The skirting on the bottom is a little more flare than the previous version of the car, and everything is color matched. What we do see different is you get a black accent on the mirrors on both sides. So we have upped the braking power in this car because we're now at 228 horsepower of this rear-wheel drive car. So again, with that acceleration capacity you have in the vehicle, you also want to slow down fast to get into the corners. I am not a real car guy at my age. This is hard to get in and out of, but I've got to say I did have the opportunity to drive one of these on a closed track last year, and they didn't have the Brembos. The car performed outstanding, and I've got to say, as someone born in the 70s who learned to drive on a rear-wheel drive car, this is so much fun to drive. And again, the braking was the really fun part, is that I'm not used to having something that would go fast and stop. This will go fast and stop, and with these new Brembos on this particular trim, it will stop in a way quicker time than the previous generation. So let's come around to the back of the car and just look at some of the accents back there. So here on the rear of the Signia edition, obviously you've got some neat blackout on the top of the taillights and brake lights in this vehicle. All LEDs in the rear. Come around, obviously it says the GR86, so it's the Gazoo racing platform of Toyota. The hatch, I'm hoping is going to work as I open it, and it does. So it's a quick release there for your trunk. Again, very small trunk for this vehicle, but again, this is not a daily grocery getter. You have to have reasonable expectations. If you were under 5 feet tall, your golf clubs would fit. Otherwise, they should probably go in the back seat of this one. Rear backup camera right there just below the rear brake light, and the special badging of the Signia edition of this vehicle. And you'll see on the door post, we got up a little closer, that this is a numbered car. On the exterior, pretty excited, really good looking package on this vehicle. So let's have a look at the inside and see what the differences are, and just give a run through of the overall presentation of this car. Okay, so here we are inside the 2025 86. We didn't film me getting in because it wasn't pretty. I'm not 12 and this was not easy for me to get in and out of, but once you're in here, I will say this is incredibly comfortable seat. The bolsters are really quite large. For performance, this is going to keep you glued in place. In the driver's position, audio controls on the steering wheel that we're all familiar with. Radar cruise set up on the steering wheel, very simple layout here, and most of the readouts for the driver are digital. The reason we don't have them lit up now is because the doors would be dinging as we're doing this. This leather seat with the tan accents. Matches the case for your key that comes with it. The stitching is all matched. Really nice package. The green and the tan and the black really go well together. Climate control have all been blacked out, which is a lovely, lovely accent. The safety feature are SOS buttons up here as it should be in case you ever need assistance for in the case of an accident or anything. And I've got to say, it's very, very comfortable. Again, I'm 5'10", and the adjustment on the seat is really good. I can set this exactly where I want to be with the for the transmission for the clutch. The manual transmission is tight as a drum. It's a wonderful thing to drive. It's a lot of fun to drive. Beautiful display, simplicity built in. And again, this is a bit of a hybrid vehicle. As the audio head unit here is more Subaru, the steering wheel is Toyota, the shifter is Toyota, but again, it's an interesting blend of both Subaru and Toyota technology all mixed in. Really great layout here, really minimal overstimulation for the driver. You have basic buttons and not a lot of extra. Push button start is nice feature. And in the rear, pardon me, not in the beer, that's different. There are technically two seats back there, but again, groceries, shoes, maybe some golf clubs. You are not taking the wife and kids, or pardon me, your partner and kids, dog, or anybody with you. This is a pretty small car. It is a two-seater. It's meant to be mostly a two-seater, and it's more fun to drive because of that. So yeah, we'll have a quick look under the hood. We'll see a boxer engine that is different than what we normally see on our Toyota product, but let's have a look and see what we can identify up front. So here we are at the front of the vehicle, and it's always fun for me to figure out how to open these without being embarrassing myself too far. Oh, there again, I found the notch. So again, sliding your hand from right to left, there's a release mechanism. Fire it up. So the prop rod is hiding in plain sight right here. So put the prop rod in place. Away we go. So as you see inside, this is a Subaru drivetrain matched with some of the Toyota technology. So essentially, for lack of a better term, for those who are not mechanically inclined, in most of our engines, the pistons sit virtually upright, either straight upright or just in a V when they're running. With a boxer engine, the pistons actually lay out horizontally. It gives you a very different sound, gives you a different power curve on the engine just because they're a different way of doing the same job. So really great low-end power on this vehicle. Low RPMs, good pull, lots of drag, and with the manual transmission paired to this, this is a really fun car to drive. So as a consumer, the usual things here. Check your oil periodically. There's your washer fluid. I have no idea what most of the rest of this is. I can see the 12-volt battery and how to boost it. And I know that it's a Subaru engine that I'm probably going to bring back to the dealer to maintain anyways. That being said, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. Thanks for your time, and thanks for letting me do the walk around on the Hakonia Edition 86. Thanks again. Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and this is the all-new 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. So this is the 2025 Signia. This is a color called Finish Line Red. Obviously, we've never seen this color on another vehicle from Toyota yet so far. Hopefully they'll put it on some of our other vehicles because it is outstanding. Design-wise, really cool car. A long, sleek headlight LED as well as the matching fog light. So really neat accents. We've got high gloss accents, the black against the red, both in the lower louver and the grille. You've got an interesting perforation here where it kind of fades in and out. Visually, it's pretty busy. I like it. It's a very interesting, bold stance. There are a whole host of sensors right here for the frontal collision avoidance. Radar cruise control is a combination of this and the camera in the front of the windshield. And this vehicle with the sensors in the front actually has a feature, I believe it's called swerve control. And how it works is if you're driving this vehicle and a bicycle or a pedestrian comes out in even close to your line of travel, is that the sensors will override and it'll actually veer the vehicle away from oncoming vehicles or pedestrians. Really cool feature. So from the front of the vehicle, very minimal but very aggressive stance. Really like it. So let's move on and go down the side of the new vehicle. So here we are on the passenger side of the vehicle. The first thing I see is we've got this really nice gloss black wheel arch here, and then obviously the high gloss black 21-inch alloy. That is the standard wheel package on this vehicle, is a 21. I have had a chance to drive this vehicle, and I've got to say, as big as that wheel and tire is, this thing rides like a dream. It is really impressive. So come back along. Neat features on this vehicle because of the trim and the quality of it. It's got a gasket in here that cuts down on road noise from the vehicle on the outside. Mud flap standard feature. You've got this higher arch here on the lower portion of the door that gives you visually grounds the car. Color matched door handles, obviously. And as I've said in a couple of these other show and tells, this vehicle has Toyota's standard feature of lock and unlock on the driver and passenger doors. Actually, now the key's not in the vehicle, I've set the alarm off. We're gonna have to edit this out. So now that I've stopped the alarm from going off, we'll come back here. You've got a nice high gloss panel all the way along here. This is the two-tone, so it does have a black roof, but even on the vehicles without the black roof, you do get this gloss panel at the top of the door. Again, really interesting wide wheel arch here, 21s in the rear, so you can rotate your tires. Come back here a little further, you do have a conventional, just a reflector here, a mud flap on this car, and the wraparound taillight, really interesting look. Ground clearance on this vehicle is around 6 inches. So again, all-wheel drive, electronic all-wheel drive, good ground clearance, big beefy wheels and tires. Visually, I think this car is really outstanding. I hesitate to say this, but to me, this is a luxury station wagon. Somebody will probably crucify me for saying that, but that's what it looks like to me. So let's come around to the back and see what we can find back here. So here we are at the rear of the Crown Signia. Strangely enough, nowhere on this vehicle does it say Signia, but it is a Crown Signia. The Crown sedan obviously is quite a bit shorter, very different looking vehicle. So this is the limited trim. Clearly it's all-wheel drive. No visible sensors back here. There is a camera here, and if I've read correctly, there's actually a little washer on here to keep this rear camera clean. And most people have observed with their older vehicles, when winter weather, these can get crusted over and get hazy. So they've added a nice feature of giving you the washer on that. So there is the release button. Neat, it's got a complete wraparound tail light around the entire gate. Nice big opening, that's a nice feature. Tonneau covers, standard. Good cargo space, flat floor is the first thing I see. Nice finish in here, it's all high gloss and gloss black. There is a spare tire in here. Hybrid battery, 12-volt battery also here on the floor. So if you ever need to change, or someone else needs to change your battery, I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. Your 12-volt battery is in your trunk. Lots of tie downs, oh, there you go. There are the releases for the rear seats. From back here, that is foolproof. That is a nice feature. Lots of actually good usable storage space here. And as we've mentioned on some of the newer models, this is a 2025 Crown Signia. This has the close and also the close and lock feature, which is a nice addition that was on the precursor to this, which was the Venza. Venza also had that feature as well, but this vehicle essentially has replaced the Venza for 2025. The Venza is no longer available in Canada and the US, and this is the solution to replace it. So let's close that up. So one of the nice features they've added to this vehicle for 25 as opposed to the Venza is they have put the kick control in here. So if I can figure out how to do it, it will, there you go. It will actually open the lift gate with the swipe of the foot underneath, and it'll also reclose it. So that is a nice add for anyone bringing packages to the table. So obviously you can do it with the kick, or you can do it with the button here. So let's go around to the front and have a look. So here we are on the inside of the 2025 Crown Signia. Things that I see, first impressions when I get in here. Lots of stuff to digest. So obviously a programmable driver's seat, so power tilt and telescopic steering wheel and seat that can be reprogrammed with your door position. Automatic headlights. I see I've got the a washer on my front, my headlights that I can turn on. I've got a heated cowling for where your wipers park for the winter, which is nice to keep your wipers de-iced. The layout of the steering wheel is really quite sporty. It's a small steering wheel. Visually, for the position I'm sitting in, I've got great view of the instrument cluster here where I'm sitting. Obviously your cruise control, radar cruise, lane departure assist, audio controls, all on the steering wheel. And this trim, so this is a limited. There is a tech package above this, But as far as basic features, this vehicle has everything from soup to nuts. I've got to say, this really does feel like a Lexus to me, and I have had a chance to drive this, and I've got to say I am tickled by this car. I'm not a car guy, but I would love to drive one of these consistently because it was just such a beautiful drive. It's so quiet, lots of power. So heated and ventilated seats. So these are perforated seat bottoms and the backs. Again, pretty good airflow here. This is the next generation technology, and the level of heating and cooling was really impressive. Wireless charging, which is really high output. That was awesome. Drop your phone in, it charges quickly. You've got a couple of USB-C charging ports here. Again, this is Toyota's traditional 2.5 liter hybrid drive in this vehicle that most of our vehicles are based on. I've got to say the power output of this particular configuration was really impressive. Fuel economy is stated at 6.5 liters combined. We've had a couple customers who've had these and driven them for a little bit. They're saying they're doing better than that, but again, those are the stated numbers, which are fantastic. The configuration here, lots of controls, high gloss finish, which is really nice. Very similar to the interior of the loaded Prius, the shifter and the configuration of your drive modes, very similar to the Prius. Really nice fit and finish here. Everything is still analog, which is really nice, with the exception obviously of the head unit, which gives you your connected services. Toyota has added in the full suite of connected services to keep you connected with your dealer for service, as well as Safety Connect. Lots of things. You can, start your car, you can turn on your heated seats. Yeah, the technology in these is really impressive, and to tell you the truth, a bit beyond me, because I do not interact with this stuff on a regular basis, and it's quite a learning curve to get familiarized with it, but the functionality is very user-friendly. And one of the simple things I really like, a volume knob, something that notes back to early automotive days when you reached up, you found the volume and you turned it up and down. So as far as seating position goes, I'm going to put this where I would like to be. It's funny, there actually gives you an audible warning when you're moving the seat up and down, back and forth. I don't know what that's for, so you don't crush your cat. Not sure. Anyway, the sunroof is outstanding. We've got an acre of glass above my head here. The cabin lighting is fantastic. I've got to say, I'm really impressed by that. One interesting feature that we'll get some shots of here is this vehicle is the first to have a default rear-facing camera that actually gives you a projection rearview mirror. So I'm sitting here right now looking into this, and I am looking actually at a digital screen. So there's two settings here. You can actually have it as a digital screen that I'm seeing now, so that the rear is full of people or full of packages. You've got cargo in there, and you wouldn't naturally have a line of sight. The camera, which is on the outside of the vehicle, gives you a full line of sight as if there's nothing behind the driver. So it's great for safety and for visual, both on the highway and for parking. Really nice feature. And again, if you're a little freaked out, which some of us are by some of this technology, you can turn it off and it works as a conventional mirror as well. So it's a screen or it's a mirror, it's whichever you're comfortable with. But as far as a safety feature goes, I really like the rear-facing digital cameras they give you on the rearview mirror on a lot of our newer vehicles. On the Crown Signia, the brightness of this is impressive. The visibility, the clarity is outstanding. So let's go put me in the back seat, see what the seating position is here compared to somebody, again, 5'10" driver set with the seat set for me. So I'm going to shut the car off so we don't gas ourselves in the showroom and go have a look in the back. JBL speaker. I know this vehicle actually does come with a 12 speaker JBL system. Awesome audio, really outstanding. Good open door space. The opening is nice and wide, nice and clean. So up in here, oh yeah, this is like super comfortable. Like great cushion. It's firm, yet it's soft. It's kind of a neat comment. It's like I'm selling mattresses now, but I'm not. It's really just the back seat of the Signia. So close the door. So I see a clearance light for anyone coming by. It's kind of a European touch that there's lights on the bottoms of the doors so that when they're open, people can see that the doors are open. Nice large cup holder here down low. Good convenient height for me to be sitting here. Again, at 5'10", I don't have the longest legs in the world, but I've got a ton of space here. It looks like I could easily be 4 inches taller on the leg space, no problem. I have a reasonable amount of headroom with this vehicle. My head's not touching, so I'm not worried about that. And again, I have a long torso, and if I can sit here without touching, I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty common for me to have issues with headroom in the rear of some of the cars. So pocket on the rear of both seats for storage, nice touch. Ventilation is here, well placed, easily accessible. 2 charge ports for USB-C. Again, cup holder, good configuration, good height. I've got to say, incredibly comfortable here, and a big roomy cabin with this light coming through this panoramic roof is outstanding. I've got to say, you could put me in here and drive for all day. You'd probably find me asleep after a few minutes, which would be perfect. It means you're comfortable. So this would be a fantastic vehicle to travel in for long distances, or as a commuter vehicle, because the fuel economy is ridiculous. It is all-wheel drive, and boy, I'm really impressed with the comfort here. This is impressive. I've got to say, I'm not a real car guy. This is the first Toyota that I've seen since I've been here with the Toyota brand, almost 10 years now, that I've been excited about this car because it is just outstanding. Everything we've seen about it and all the drivability is really impressive. I've got to say that we look forward to having more of these and getting some customers in them as time goes by. So let's have a look under the hood and pretend I know what's under there. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. Okay, so let's have a look under the hood of the 25 Crown Signia. So, huge hood on this vehicle. That is one comment I had from a customer. They said, boy, that is a really big hood. Again, it really doesn't matter because you're not going to be under here much unless you're a Toyota technician. So, prop rod location, clearly marked. Everything here is nice and tidy. So again, this is the newest iteration of the 2.5 liter Toyota hybrid drive. Again, average consumer, the only things you're really going to be concerned with are where's the prop rod, where do I put my washer fluid, it's right there. You can check your own oil. Aside from that, everything here is a mystery to me. I know that they traditionally have great service record, they last a long time. It's really impressive to see this beautiful color paint under the hood. No one's ever going to see it, but it is in good shape. So anyway, there's the tour. Nice insulation under the hood. That's about all I have to say about this because that's way beyond my pay scale. So thanks for your attention. I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. This has been the 2025 Crown Signia. Please like, follow, comment, respond, criticize, do whatever you feel like. Thanks for your time.